Hello Boro fans, it's Joe from Boro Fan TV and welcome to the final whistle, the post-match breakdown show of today's opening game of the season, which ended up with Luton Town 3, Middlesbrough 3 at Kenilworth Road. Now, I'm filming from an undisclosed location because I couldn't make the game today because it's my birthday today, the 2nd of August, so I was out with friends, non-alcoholic of course, but that's safe for later on in the weekend, but I'm just judging by the game from what I saw on the Sky Sports app highlights, which I saw earlier, and I'm judging them based on that, and from what I've heard on other social media platforms of the game itself. To be honest, Boro fans, there were a lot of positives to take out of that game. Don't get me wrong. There were a lot of positives, even though we picked up a point for that from the opening game of the season, there were a lot of positives. We played more attacking football, which we were lacking last season, and there's good things to come out from it. Starting off the first half, early on we got the rub of the green with the first goal. Starting off, with Ashley Fletcher scoring a glancing header from a good cross from Marvin Johnson from a deflected corner. Some people are saying on social media as well, Marvin Johnson had the game of his life. Don't get me wrong, I've heard a lot of things about Marvin Johnson, which was a non-Pulis player, to be honest, from last season, but from what I've heard, he had the game of his life today. And obviously, Ashley Fletcher made it 1-0. Then up the other end, Luton equalised. We didn't clear a corner. It came out to the Luton centre-back, Sonny Bradley, who thrashed it in from about 25 yards out, for which Darren Randolph had no chance whatsoever. And then, all of a sudden, ended up being 2-1 to Boro. I won't mention names, but there was a defensive relapse going into their goal, and all of a sudden, an ex-Boro player himself, Martin Craney, came up with the free header at the back post to make it 2-1 to Luton in front of the over 1,000 of the Boro faithful that made the long trip to Luton. Fair play to you guys for travelling down there. Then all of a sudden, before half-time, it became 2-2. Britta Sombalonga capitalised on a little bit of a defensive error and even more of a bad error from the Luton goalkeeper, Simon Sluga. It went through his hands and Sombalonga claimed the goal, and it was 2-2 going into half-time for the Boro. Now, second half, same again, both sides going at it with full throttle attacking football, and then it ended up being 3-2 at the Boro. And I can only say this, Lewis Wing always scores great goals, and this one was no exception. Good running from Johnny Howson to pick out Wing, and then from 25-30 yards, boom. So 3-2 at the Boro, and then could have been more. Daniel Ayala had the chance, but it was saved by the keeper. And then there was the penalty. Britta Sombalonga, you meant to keep that low, lad. Meant to keep that low. Instead, you just sky it. Come on. You can finish better than that, lad. Then we paid the price for it 5 minutes from time. A little bit of a defensive relapse once again. We couldn't clear the ball. And James Collins netted the equaliser for Luton. And that's how it ended up. Luton could have won it really towards the end, but if not for Darren Randolph making some class saves towards the end, we could have lost it. But at the end of the day, taking a point is actually a fair result. But like I said, there's a lot of positives to take out of Woody's first game in charge. So if we can keep that from now to the end of the season, I'll be well chuffed. Very well chuffed. Better improvement since, the T-Rex from last season. Put it that way. Anyway, next game, Boro fans, it's on Saturday, the 10th of August, with a 3 p.m. kickoff. It's our first home game of the season at the Riverside, which Brentford are the visitors. As we all know from down the years, along with other Championship clubs, Brentford are no pushovers whatsoever, especially with the amount of players they've got in their ranks, Thomas Frank's men. You got the likes of Neil Maupay somehow managed to stay at the club, and then you got the likes of Saeed Benrahma, Ollie Watkins, all them players, Sergi Canos, etc., all still at the club, and he even brought in the former Yorkshire Tea League himself, Pontus Jansson, so he's going to be tough to play against at the back. But we need to get the Riverside bouncing for Woody's first game in charge next coming Saturday. As you know, I'll be there, of course, at the Riverside for my first game of the season, for which I couldn't get down to Luton today because I've had I was out for my birthday with my friends, so that's why I couldn't get down. Anyway, a lot of positive state, Boro fans. I'll save the rest for the Brentford match preview, which I'm going to do later in the week. Also, this Monday coming is the return of the Monday night show with Hutchie, so make sure you keep an eye out for that. And also, I've got my preview to come up this week on this channel, as well as the alternative match preview from Ted Hankey, one of our own. He'll be coming in with an alternative match preview the day before the game, I think. Also, don't forget to like, share and subscribe as always to Boro Fan TV. Don't forget our socials, Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. Go follow us on them. And until then, Boro fans, I've been Joe from Boro Fan TV. And remember, it's only day one of the season. It's a long way till May, so anything can happen. Take care, Boro fans. Up the Boro.